The 7 invisible signs of the chosen ones. Do you have them? Have you ever had a quiet, inexplicable sense deep within you? A knowing that you were made for something more. Something greater than what the world can see. Perhaps it's a feeling that comes in the stillness of prayer or in the quiet moments of reflection. A whisper that calls you to look beyond the surface of life and reach for a higher purpose. But what if this feeling wasn't just a fleeting thought or passing notion? What if it's the divine calling that marks the chosen ones, those set apart for a purpose greater than themselves? Throughout history, we've heard of those extraordinary souls who walked the earth with a light that couldn't be hidden. A strength that seemed to come from somewhere beyond themselves. People like Saint Francis of Assisi, who embraced poverty to bring peace to the world, or Saint Teresa of Calcutta, whose life was devoted to the poorest of the poor. What made them different? What was it about them that seemed to draw God's favor in ways that others could not explain? Perhaps you've felt it too, the pull. The sense that you are not here by chance. Today, we will explore the 7 invisible marks that set the chosen ones apart. Signs that are not visible to the naked eye but are deeply woven into their very essence. These marks aren't just for saints of the past. They could be the signs in your life that reveal the divine path you are meant to walk. Stay with me, for the journey we embark on today may just reveal something profound about your own calling. The first invisible mark. Toxic people feel uncomfortable around them. The first invisible mark is one of the most revealing. If you are one of the chosen ones, you will undoubtedly notice that toxic people often feel uneasy in your presence. It's not because you've done anything wrong or provoked them. Quite the opposite. Your mere existence shines a light that exposes the darkness of those who are filled with jealousy, malice, or deceit. They feel threatened by your authenticity, by the peace that emanates from your soul, and by the way your light reveals their own hidden sins. Consider the story of Saint Padre Pio, a beloved figure in the Catholic Church. Padre Pio was known for his deep spirituality and miraculous gifts. People flocked to him, seeking healing and guidance. But many who lived in sin could not stand to be near him. His presence exposed their flaws. Even without him saying a word, it was as if his very existence confronted their darkness. In my own life, I have experienced moments when people around me, for no apparent reason, started avoiding me or became irritable when I was nearby. I once had a colleague, someone I considered a friend, who suddenly distanced himself from me. It wasn't until later that I realized he was dealing with personal struggles that I had unknowingly mirrored by simply being a positive, joyful person in the workplace. His avoidance wasn't about me. It was a reflection of the discomfort he felt due to the light I carried. If you've ever faced rejection or hostility without knowing why, take heart. It's not a sign of your failure but a confirmation that you are walking in the light, just as Christ did. The truth is, those who carry the light will always make the darkness uncomfortable. And just like Christ's encounter with the Pharisees, your presence will stir reactions from those who live in shadows. The second invisible mark. They feel things before they happen. Another striking characteristic of the chosen ones is their ability to sense things before they happen. It's not mere intuition or a random hunch. It's a deeper connection with the divine. The chosen ones are gifted with a sense that allows them to perceive the world around them in ways others can't. It might come as a feeling of unease, a sudden urge to change direction, or a dream that seems to carry prophetic significance. Look at the example of Saint Joseph, the earthly father of Jesus. In the Gospel of Matthew, an angel appeared to him in a dream, warning him to flee to Egypt with Mary and Jesus to escape King Herod's wrath. This dream came at a time when the world was filled with turmoil. But Joseph, guided by this divine warning, acted quickly, protecting his family and fulfilling God's plan. His ability to recognize and trust the divine guidance in a moment of crisis is a powerful example of the gift of foresight. I, too, have had moments when something inside me told me to pause, take a different route, or avoid a situation, and later I would realize it was divine intervention. I remember a time when I was about to attend a meeting, but a sudden feeling of unease stopped me from going. Later, I learned that the meeting was cancelled, and an important opportunity had been missed for reasons I could not have known. If you've ever had a gut feeling that saved you from harm, or sensed something important before it happened, know that you are experiencing a divine gift. This connection with the spiritual realm is one of the marks of the chosen ones. Trust in it, for it will guide you through life's uncertainties. The third invisible mark: envious people attack them without reason. The chosen ones often find themselves the target of envy and baseless attacks. It's not because of anything they've done wrong, but because their very existence threatens those who are insecure or jealous. These attacks can come in many forms: criticism, rejection, or even outright hostility. But this isn't a reflection of the chosen one's character. It's a reflection of the brokenness and jealousy within those who attack. Consider the story of Cain and Abel from the book of Genesis. Cain became envious of his brother Abel because God favored Abel's offering. Instead of looking inward and addressing his own shortcomings, Cain chose to lash out at Abel, ultimately committing the first murder. Cain's jealousy wasn't rooted in Abel's actions but in the righteousness and favor that Abel had received from God. Similarly, those who attack the chosen ones do so not because of anything they've done, but because they cannot understand the divine favor that rests upon them. In my own experience, I have often been the target of envy, particularly when I felt I was walking in faith and doing what I believed to be right. I've seen people who felt threatened by my progress or peace in life, and they reacted in ways that felt like attacks, whether through gossip, undermining, or cutting remarks. But over time, I learned that this wasn't about me. It was about their inability to accept the light that I carried. If you've ever been unfairly criticized or attacked, remember, it's not a reflection of your worth, but a reflection of the insecurities and envy of others. Their attacks are proof that you are walking in the light, and it's a sign that you are living in alignment with God's will. The fourth invisible mark. They don't fit anywhere. The chosen ones often feel out of place, even when surrounded by others. It's not because they dislike people, but because their perspective on life is different. While many people are content with the superficial aspects of life, the chosen ones yearn for something deeper, something more meaningful. This feeling of not fitting in is not a flaw. It's a divine sign that you are set apart for something greater. Think of the example of Saint Francis of Assisi. Born into wealth, he had everything many people desire. But he felt a deep inner calling that led him to abandon his material wealth and live a life of poverty and service. His decision was not understood by those around him, but it was the path that God had set for him. Saint Francis didn't fit into the societal expectations, but his path was the one that led him to transform the church and the world. I've often found myself in situations where I didn't quite fit in. Whether in social gatherings or workplaces, there was always a part of me that yearned for deeper conversations and connections. I often felt like I was walking a different path from the people around me. And at times it was isolating. But over the years, I've come to realize that this feeling of not fitting in is a divine mark. It's a sign that you are not called to follow the world's path but to create your own path. One that aligns with God's purpose for your life. If you've ever felt like you don't fit in, understand that it's not a problem. It's a divine invitation to walk a path that others may not understand. Embrace it, for it is the mark of the chosen ones. The fifth invisible mark. Children and animals adore them. There is something incredibly special about how children and animals are drawn to the chosen ones. They have an innate ability to sense purity and goodness, and they are naturally attracted to those who carry the light. It's not because of anything the chosen ones do. It's because of the energy they radiate. Children and animals are attuned to the divine, and they instinctively recognize it when they encounter it. In the Gospel, Jesus welcomed children into his presence, saying, "Let the little children come to me, and do not hinder them. For the kingdom of heaven belongs to such as these." He recognized that children, with their pure hearts, are more open to receiving God's love. Similarly, animals, with their innocence, seem to recognize the holiness in the chosen ones. I recall a time when I was at a park, and a toddler, who had never seen me before, walked up and smiled at me, as though we had known each other forever. It was a reminder that sometimes the purest souls can see what others cannot. If you've ever had a similar experience, where a child or animal was inexplicably drawn to you, it's a sign that you are carrying something special. Your light is so pure that it resonates with the innocent and the pure. The sixth invisible mark. God has spoken to them through dreams or signs. God speaks to the chosen ones in many ways, and one of the most profound ways is through dreams or signs. These are not mere coincidences. They are divine messages meant to guide and direct. Many people throughout history have received guidance through dreams or signs that were later revealed to be part of God's greater plan. I think of the story of Saint Joseph again. He was warned in a dream to take Mary and Jesus and flee to Egypt to escape King Herod's wrath. That dream wasn't just a random thought, it was a divine message. And Joseph responded in faith. Similarly, the chosen ones often receive dreams, visions, or signs that guide them in their journey. I have had moments in my life when a dream or a sign seemed to speak directly to me. Whether it was a subtle word from a scripture or an event that felt divinely orchestrated. These moments became pivotal in my life's decisions. If you have ever experienced something similar, know that it is God speaking to you, guiding you with divine clarity. The seventh invisible mark. When they pray, things happen. Finally, the most powerful mark of all. When the chosen ones pray, things change. Their prayers are not empty words. They are heartfelt conversations with God. These prayers carry weight, and when the chosen ones pray, they see the power of God's intervention in their lives. It is not always immediate, and not every prayer is answered in the way they expect, but the power of prayer is undeniable. I think of the countless stories of saints who prayed for miraculous events. Saint Monica praying for the conversion of her son. Saint Augustine, or Saint Teresa of Lisieux praying for the souls in purgatory. Their prayers had power because they were rooted in deep faith and trust in God's plan. I, too, have witnessed the power of prayer. There have been times in my life when I prayed for guidance, for peace, or for the well-being of loved ones. And I saw remarkable changes happen, some immediately, others over time. When the chosen ones pray, the heavens respond. As we come to the end of this reflection, I invite you to pause for a moment and let these thoughts settle deeply in your heart. The 7 invisible marks are not mere signs. They are sacred reminders of the unique calling that rests upon your life. Perhaps they have been with you all along, quietly guiding you, shaping your path, and whispering to your soul that you are destined for something greater. These marks, whether you've recognized them or not, are proof that you are not just drifting through life, but you are a part of a divine story written long before you were born. You may not always see the way ahead, or feel the strength to walk it, but know this: the journey is not yours alone. With every prayer, with every moment of doubt or confusion, God walks beside you, strengthening your heart, revealing your purpose. Just as the saints before you faced trials and moments of doubt, so too will you find yourself tested. But remember, the strength to endure, the courage to rise, and the faith to believe in the unseen are the very marks of those who are chosen. So, as you move forward in your life, carry these invisible marks with reverence. Know that you are not an accident. You are a divine creation, called for a purpose that only you can fulfill. And as you continue on this path, know that the best is yet to come. Your story is still being written, and the world has yet to see the fullness of what you are meant to become. Walk forward with peace in your heart, knowing that you are a vessel of God's light, and may you always feel His presence, guiding you toward the beauty and purpose He has prepared for you. You're very welcome. It's been a true privilege to walk this journey of faith with you. May God's grace continue to guide your steps, fill your heart with His wisdom, and surround you with His everlasting love. Stay strong in your faith and continue to walk in His light, knowing that He is with you every step of the way. Until next time, stay blessed, stay faithful, and may His word be your light always. God bless you.